Okay, can everybody hear that? Hands up in the back if you can hear. Okay, good. All right, I am Ken Grant, and I remember first meeting Chelsea when she was first coming to Wilmington and thinking about possibly becoming the leader of Riverfront Ministries. At that point, there was no Kitchen Collective. There was a lot of stuff that wasn't in existence before Chelsea came along, and she made it all happen. So this is our chance. If you've ever thought about things that you wanted to express to Chelsea publicly in a parking lot, this is going to be your chance. So I'm going to start off with this. A few weeks back, she and I were having the conversation about what it's going to be like leaving Delaware, going to Salisbury, Maryland. Salisbury.
Ow.
So I did what I do, which is going online and said, okay, if someone were moving to Salisbury, what should they pack? What should they know? What should they think about? Here's what I got back. First things first, you'll need to prepare for the inevitable why Salisbury question. My advice, have a few stock answers ready. Well, for the crabs is always a solid choice, even if you're allergic. The vibrant arts scene works if you can say it with a straight face. Or my personal favorite, I heard they have excellent humidity. So let's talk packing. You'll meticulously organize your belongings, label boxes, and swear that this will be the most efficient move ever. Then a week before the big day, you'll find that one random drawer filled with tangled cords, a single glove, and a dried up marker. This drawer, my friend, is a metaphor for your life right now. Just throw it all in a miscellaneous Salisbury box and deal with it later. But some things that you will absolutely positively need to pack for your new Salisbury life. A strong sense of humor. You'll need it. Bug spray. Trust me on this one. The mosquitoes here are practically the state bird. Your favorite flip-flops. They're kind of like formal wear in Salisbury. A reliable GPS because even the locals get lost. And an open mind for all the delightful quirks Salisbury has to offer. What you will inevitably forget, that one sentimental item you really wanted, like your grandmother's antique thimble or your lucky socks, but don't worry, you'll realize it halfway there. Mastering the local lingo, you'll quickly discover that Salisbury has its own unique dialect. Downey Ocean isn't a sleepy little town, it's Ocean City. The bypass is a magical road that may or may not actually bypass anything. And if someone offers you chicken and dumplings, don't expect a gourmet meal. It's probably just chicken and dumplings. Moving is stressful, but try to find the humor in it. The day you arrive in Salisbury, you'll probably be sweaty, exhausted, and covered in packing peanuts. But as you unpack your first box, take a deep breath of that humid Eastern Shore air, you'll realize something, that you're home, or at least you're about to be. So good luck with the move. Know that we're always here, ready to offer you some good old Delaware hospitality. And with that, I think it's Javi's turn to come up and say a few words.
I'm literally finishing a bite of French fries, and they're very, very good. You really talk, Ken. There we go. Well, my name's Javi. Geez, it's been what, 6 years, 7 years, something like that, somewhere in there. But I knew Chelsea before I knew Chelsea, because our friend and infamous prior leader, Edwin, who will not remain nameless tonight, welcomed me into a holy conversation when he was discerning his next move to another church. And so it's ironic that here we are today yet again at the precipice of another change in another remarkable leader. And so Edwin told me that I had to meet this minister called Chelsea, who was finishing up school and that would soon be looking for a call, and that she was looking forward to coming back home to be a little bit closer to family. And so that was the very first time I heard of Chelsea. And boy, am I glad, and Edwin, I hope you never hear this, but Edwin, boy, am I glad that you left and brought Chelsea. I think a lot of us feel that way. As I think about Chelsea and even those early days of leadership and ministry, the text that comes to mind and that I've been sitting in throughout the week, even before coming here, is found in Paul's letter to Timothy, an apprentice of Paul and a follower of Jesus, where he writes to him and says in 2 Timothy 1:7, and it says, "For the Spirit of God does not make us timid. For the Spirit of God does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." Gives us power, love, and self-discipline. And if I were to anchor all of the accolades that I could bestow upon my friend and leader, Chelsea, it would be that she is a woman who is filled with the Spirit, because we see love, we see power, and we see self-discipline. You don't create a movement like Riverfront Ministries and the Kitchen Collective without a fullness of power, of love, and of self-discipline. There were some really hard choices that we needed to make as an organization, as a ministry, when we first started. And I quickly noticed that Chelsea needed me for some of those, but many of those she could do on her own. She's a woman who's filled with lots of power. But not just the kind of power that lords it over people, the kind of power that gives it away. That gives it away to other leaders as our staff grew and as Lisa came on and as others came on. Even some of those difficult decisions around who to bring on and how to structure their benefits and how to structure their pay and how to structure their time off. She gave a lot of that power away. She didn't hold on to it. And in that way, she modeled the way of Jesus, someone who led selflessly and that gave power away. She also did it with a ton of love for people that were far from God, far from the margins, far from community, far from perhaps even a loving community to belong to. She embodied the kind of space where people would want to call home. And she did that with a lot of love. People that perhaps would have never found community in another Christian kind of community found a home at Riverfront Ministries to call home, because she's a woman who's filled with the power of the Spirit and gives away power and loves people well. She's loved me well, she's loved my wife well, she's loved her children well. She's shown up as a chaplain of the city when that was not an expectation any one of us had for her, but it was a call that she sensed on her love, and she showed up with great power. And she also showed up with great self-discipline, working a strategic plan that would take us from 1 kitchen to 2 kitchens to 3 kitchens and now 4 kitchens, making difficult decisions along the way, whether or not it should be church run or whether it should be run by the community, whether it should be staffed or whether it should be led by volunteers. Really difficult decisions that she would put before me and before the board, but that we would fully support her on. And whatever the kitchen looks like today is directly related to self-discipline. Not a desire to open as many kitchens as we could, but to open as many kitchens as would be beneficial both to every entrepreneur, to the community, and ultimately to the kingdom of God, who we were bearing witness to. And so Chelsea, we are so grateful for you. And we know that the same Spirit that brought you to us, that helped us experience that power, that love, and that self-discipline, will accompany you everywhere you go, because the Spirit doesn't just dwell here in our community, it dwells everywhere you will tread. And so I think I'll leave it there for now. I love you. Thank you for being part of my life, part of this community, and we can't wait to see what you will do, empowered through the same Spirit that is loving and that is powerful and that is self-disciplined. You are so loved, my friend. Thank you.
I don't know about a speech. I'm just gonna say a couple words, and hopefully you understand what I'm saying. This is hard. This is a hard thing. It's a hard thing to see somebody walk and see them grow and see them mature, and to have them take you on that journey with them, and to be open and honest. When I see Pastor Chelsea, and I love saying that word, Pastor Chelsea, because pastors are people too. You showed me that. You didn't just talk about it. You walked it. You showed that love. There's so many times, like sitting here at Grace Church, there was a time, somebody might have heard this story, but this is my favorite experience. We were in there, we were doing communion, and I forget his name, but he lived across the street. And he came in, and he needed something. And I was disturbed. I was upset. He was cutting in on my Chelsea tucker. And I was like, how dare you? What are you doing? And you showed me love is not an inconvenience. And it was about, what, a week later? A week later, that person died. I can't make this stuff up. When you told me about whether you wanted to be a bishop or a pastor, I was like, well, what's the difference, right?
I do not want to be a bishop.
Whatever it was, right? It was one of those titles, right? I don't know, but it was a deacon. So it was a deacon, right? So that shows you how much I know. But I was like, yeah, I was like, what's the difference? What's the difference? And you took the time at Think and Drink, because I'm the person that makes stuff weird, right? I would ask those hard questions. And you never once said, that's a stupid question. Your face never got turned up and was like, you were like, let's find out together. And that's, if you've never been to one of our Think and Drink sessions, please, that is where the community thrives. That's where we're able to hear each other. That's where we get a chance to connect. I'm gonna miss you at that. The services are cool, Riverfront's cool, and the Kitchen Collective's cool. But getting that nourishment and knowing that I could talk to a pastor, and it wasn't all problems. It was just, what is this whole fellowship thing about? And I know it's not easy, but I know it's good. Where you're going and what you're about to do, I know it's good. Your journey here is complete. It's time for you to move on. It's not easy. But for you, I don't think it ever has been easy. And I really love you for that. Thank you.
There she is. My name's Derek Allen. Me and my wife, Amina, were some of the initial members of the Kitchen Collective. So I'm going to be very, very quick. And Chelsea, the words are pretty much exactly what I wrote on your card. So I know whatever you do and wherever you go, you're going to be a blessing to someone. That part is a given. I'm not worried about that. I know wherever you end up. My prayer for you is that wherever you go, people appreciate as much of a blessing as you deserve, because you have been a blessing to me and my family. We appreciate it more than you know. So, and I know that appreciation is not what fuels you. I understand that. I just pray that everyone where you go recognizes who you are, recognizes what you do, and truly appreciates that you're a one-of-a-kind person. That's my prayer for you.
Can you hear me now? So I'm Abina, like Derek said, other half of Philly Smoke. So a couple of things. One big thing, I don't open up to a lot of people. A lot of layers. And thank you. So it has been a blessing to know you, Chelsea, and not just for what you've done with the Kitchen Collective, but just as a human being. And I thank you for opening me and for listening to me. Sometimes even when I didn't want to speak, pulling it out of me. I don't cry for everybody, and you see me cry a few times. So I know you're not like gone. You're here. You're gonna be, the stone's throw away. But it's still a part of our lives. A part of the Allen family is going to Salisbury, and we will miss you. Okay, so I'll leave it there. But I wanted to leave you with this. I'll try to make it fast. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have your brains in your head. You have your feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. And you are the guy who'll decide where you go. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some, you'll say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down not so any good street. And you may not find any that you want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town to Salisbury, Maryland. It's an opener there in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And then things start to happen. And don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along, you'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top the rest. Except when you don't. Sometimes you won't. I'm so sorry to say, but sadly it's true, that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. You won't be. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and then the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, not so much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You'll come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place where you can sprain both your elbow and your chin. But do you dare stay out? Do you dare go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right and 3/4, or maybe not quite? Or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find. For a mind maker upper to make up his mind. You can get confused and you'll start in to race down long wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, for a most useless place, the waiting place. Not you. I'll skip that part. You're not waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright spaces where boom bands are playing. With banner flip-flapping once more, you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go. There is fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won, and the magical things that you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame. You'll be as famous can be in the whole wide world watching you on TV. Except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games. Games you can't win, games you'll play against you. All alone, whether you make it or not. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet some things that scare you out of your pants. Then there are some then there are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much that you won't want to go on. But you will go on. Through the weather be foul, on you will go. Though your enemies prowl, on you will go. Through the hack and cracks howl, onward up many a frightening creek. Though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak, on and on you will hike, and I know you will hike far, and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget the dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98 3/4% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So be your name Boxham or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai, Ali Van Allen or O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. We love you, Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea. So I showed up about 3 years ago with a couple jars of honey and not a whole lot else. And because of your vision and your encouragement, I have a thriving little business that I wasn't expecting to start at the age of 60. But only God could have known the impact that you would have on both of our lives. I'm just repeating what everybody else has said. You're some big shoes to fill. I don't think that it's possible. I'm so grateful that God allowed you to intersect our lives for this little bit of time. You just really impacted all of us here. We're so grateful for what you started, what you've just encouraged and cheerleaded. And anyway, like everybody else, we love you. I love you. We're going to be so missed. But not forgotten. You're just right in Salisbury. So you'll be back, right? We love you.
Oh, Chelsea. When I came here, I was in a predicament. And I found out about the Wilmington Kitchen Collective. And Chelsea was the first person that I met. And I could not be where I am, where my business has been without you giving me the opportunity to apply and accepting my application. Along this journey, I've learned a lot from you. I've watched you grow tremendously. You have a big heart that we're going to truly miss. I just want to say thank you for always being who you are, offering the advice, always willing to help, and encouraging each one of the businesses here to expand and grow and try all the things that they want to try in their business. We're going to really miss you. But I know this new chapter that you have to write, it's important for them to experience what we've experienced of you. And I just want to say thank you. And I'm going to miss you a great deal.
All right, Chelsea's mom. I just want to thank, you've been thanking my daughter all this time. I want to thank all of you for loving her and for the guidance that you've all given her as well as she's given you, and to the people that first brought her here. Because when she graduated from college, I never thought she'd be moving back to Delaware. She was a missionary, she was in Detroit, she was happy in Detroit, and then she was in DC, and she was loving DC, and never in my wildest dreams did I think she'd be back. So I want to thank you guys for bringing her home and for loving her through all of this. I really appreciate it.
Hi, everybody. I would not miss this day for anything. I love Pastor Chelsea. She has been with me and my husband Damon, and through our journey of our relationship from the pandemic till now. And my favorite scripture is from Jeremiah. It's, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." And when I think about Chelsea, it's like that is God's plan for her. She has taken everything under her wings and just expanded it and helped it prosper. I mean, the Wilmington Kitchen Collective, I remember when they were trying to get the church together to make the kitchen well enough, and she went through all that, learned the grant writing, helped people take, hey, I have this great idea, like the honey lady. I tell my husband all the time, I'm like the honey lady. And like, just helped her, like she said, never thought I'd have this great business. And just every person that she comes in contact with is truly blessed, encouraged, and uplifted. When you're around Pastor Chelsea, as you all know, you're not gonna have a bad day. All the think and drinks that she muddled through, we met her with Pastor Edwin at the beginning of the pandemic. I remember the first event we had was the movie Just Mercy, and that was the last time that we were out in public together, and then everything shut down. We all gathered as a community to watch that movie. She is just so inspiring, so uplifting when I'm having a bad day and I think I can't do that. I remember during the protest, she was down there on 95 stopping the traffic with everyone else saying this is not right. And that's just who she is. She's a people person. She's just amazing. She even was gracious enough to honor me and my husband as we celebrated our anniversary and remarried us. And to this day, my favorite wedding picture I have of all the wedding pictures is the one she took. We came to the 505 after our wedding anniversary, and my husband's like, why don't we go? I said, why don't we go? In my wedding dress and all, she took the perfect picture of us just standing at the corner. The sky and the sun was setting, and to this day, my most favorite picture. And every time I see it, I know that my friend took that picture for me. So I'll end with this. I was trying to think of a great poem because she could always put poems in the Sunday services that were so intricate to sharing the services on 505 on Sunday nights. But goodbyes are not forever. They are just simply the start of a new chapter. And I'm so thankful for your new chapter. I cannot wait to see how you continue to grow and flourish in your new home. Love you and thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for coming tonight. It's really, really special to see all of you. And as we were thinking about what tonight might be, and Lisa and Cam are like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, this is it. And so thank you for showing up and for making tonight happen. Thank you to Lisa and to Cam for all of your, they are, but for all their hard work in tonight. It's really special to see so many different kind of iterations of the Kitchen Collective in one space. And it's just really, I tell y'all this a lot, but I am amazed every time that one of you share your story with us and for the ways that you trust us and for the ways that you open yourselves up to us as strangers. We do not take it lightly that you trust your business with us. Y'all, I had no idea what I was doing, and I still really don't, but I had no idea what I was doing when we opened the first kitchen. And Lisa says it all the time that it amazes her that two people, Laura and I, neither of us having really any food background, opened a shared commercial kitchen, and that 5 years later it is working. But it is. And you all have just taught me so much. You have been patient. You have spoken hard truths into my life when we needed to hear them. You have shown up for one another time and time again, figuring out how to collaborate together. It's like one of my favorite things when we walk into the kitchen and there's 2 or 3 of you in there and, you're just greeting each other. Last week I was on a kitchen tour with someone and Dream was in the kitchen and two other entrepreneurs were coming in and out, and your kids greeted each other, and the kids were like running in and out, and we're like, I have to talk to this person, I have to talk to this person, and just the ways that the kitchen has become a home, right? The ways that this community is showing up physically in that space, and the ways that you are sharing together, even when you are really frustrated and want to kill each other. You keep showing up. Y'all have really taught me what it means to do life together in all of the ups and the downs. And I'm really gonna miss this place. I'm really gonna miss nights like tonight, where I just get to look around and watch you all check in, right? And 5 years ago, we could have never really dreamed that this is what this would look like. We definitely didn't think we'd have 4 locations and that 38 businesses would call us home. That was not in the dream bucket. But it's happened. And so I'm just really, really grateful that I got to be a part of it. And I know that there are a lot of questions about what comes next. I know that all of us wish that we had my successor to name, right? And for you all to be meeting them already. But I just want you to hear it again from me, that our board is taking their time in this process because they are not going to hire someone that isn't right. We have had candidates, we have been in this interview process, and they are not going to just say yes to anyone. They want to make sure that the next person is the right person. And we are going to do all we can. They are really going to do all they can. That's going to take a minute to get used to. They're going to do all they can. And Lisa and Kem are going to do all they can to make this as seamless as possible. There are going to be gaps. There's going to be stuff that gets dropped. There's going to be times when you are frustrated. And I just ask that you keep showing up. That in the same ways that I've watched you show up over and over again, that you keep showing up and that you keep communicating what you need, because again, we're all learning together. It's been really, really special. And I'm gonna miss you a lot. And I'm not gonna ugly cry, we're not gonna start that. And so thank you for coming tonight. If you haven't already, make sure you get some food, make sure you buy from our incredible vendors. And thank you. Thanks for coming.